First, I want to thank you, Kenneth and John, to let us the occasion to share our point of view about EasyBuild. So, I'm Laurent Nguyen. I work at CEA with Xavier. As yesterday, you already know CEA, so I will pass on the presentation. Just one thing about the cluster we are managing now. I work on 2 computing centers in one facilities, and for now we have 3 clusters. So Curie, and the new cluster is Irene that we are installing now. It's a cluster dedicated to the PRACE and GENCI PRACE for the academic research. And on the other side, we have the CCRT is another cluster dedicated to the French industrials. But for us, we're managing 3 physical clusters, but it's the same system and with the same OS. So we try to have a common environment between the clusters. And as you can see, we have different architecture on our cluster. We have Cobalt in Intel Broadwell, and Irene and Skylake on KNL, Xeon Phi. Yes. On our computing center, we have more than 2,000 users, which are running jobs on our clusters, and in many scientific fields. So, like the previous presentation, we have many code installed. I don't count it, but with the field, you can know what kind of code we use. And I work in the user support team. We are 8 people who help users for using the computers, and installation. The product installation is part of our work. Yeah. I will not give you technical detail on how we use EasyBuild. I will just tell you how we adopt EasyBuild on our process for installation on CEA. Donc first, the history of EasyBuild, and I want to focus on the number of installations we made on our clusters. When I say installation, is a compilation of products, and it's not one product, is with all is update or with a patch product on. It's very it's all the installation we realized on our computer. At the opening of Curie in 2012, we had 15 products we give to the users. And now, at the end of Curie, this year, we had installed more than 900 installations on Curie. And with this number of installations, in 2015, we decided to use EasyBuild. Some of colleagues was in FOSDEM and hear of EasyBuild. So we decide to study the product, sorry, and then we begin to use EasyBuild for our installation. And in 2016, we update the product, and since then we don't update EasyBuild. I will explain you why. Yes, and for the rest, I will explain you after. I think, like everyone, before using EasyBuild, is for the installation of products, there are no rules for the installation. Like if we force a RPM, we will install it. if we find a binary, we'll download and copy. Otherwise, compilation. There are no rules. And for documentation, we write a Word document. And it's not clean as a process. Since EasyBuild is a tool that helps us to standardize our installation or process. All our team members have to install the product in one way, the way of EasyBuild, and that now we have the same way to install all our products with EasyBuild. Yes, and the big advantage of EasyBuild for us is the usage, the reuse of EasyBuilds and EasyConfig that were in the EasyBuild repository. We made some little change in EasyBuild, but it's not a major change. It's mainly about the naming scheme for the installation of the directory installation. Installation directory of our products, and for the module files. And the two other development is not in EasyBuild, it's some scripts outside of EasyBuild. I put here some trouble with EasyBuild, but it's not very important for us. I'll explain. So I'll show you how we adopt EasyBuild in the first try. In 2015, we had many clusters, and we installed one EasyBuild per cluster, and we take EasyConfig, EasyBlocks, and we install it. But the problem is it depends when the person, when the people or the cluster and the data. We have, for the same product, for example, we have 3 clusters, then we can have 3 version of product, the same product, but compiled in a different way. It was depending on the date, the person, or the toolchain present in this time on the cluster. So we try to think about something to make the common environment between the cluster, because the cluster have the same system, the same environment. So we decide to make the installation and the compilation on the one cluster, the compilation cluster, when we make the installation, and then we copy the products into the other cluster. But then we have another problem, like commercial products like Fluent, LSDNA, Abacus, where the licenses are only in, for example, on my graphics on the cluster A, and the licenses are not in the compilation clusters. So we have this kind of installation where we realize outside EasyBuild manually because of this kind of problem of license. So then the major development this last year, 2017, were to make a system of Git repository, a common Git repository on the compilation cluster. And when we want to install a product on a cluster, we have to clone all our repository, make the install, and push them back to the repository, and the product too is pushed to the compilation cluster. It takes us 1 year to make this installation process. It's not the EasyBuild is our very own process for installation on our cluster. Okay, this is our last development. Now I want to talk about some notion that we define for our user about product. On Curie, our problem was there are complaints about users. They say there are too many products, too many modules. when you type module avail, you have 3 pages of products. It's not possible for them. So we try to think about some system to reduce the number of modules they say. So we introduce some notion. The notion of flavor is when a product, for the same version of a product, you have to compile in different way. I put an example like GrowMax. You have GrowMax and GrowMax with Plume the plugin. When we have to recompile GrowMax with this plugin. So to reduce the number of modules of GrowMax, we think a system of flavor. Then like that, we have a flavor GrowMax standard and flavor GrowMax plumed. And then after you have to load the version of GrowMax you want, and it will load you the correct version of GrowMax plume or not. Second notion is feature. Feature is when we need to change the behavior of a product, but for the same products we don't use another flavor of product for the same product. Like OpenMPI, if we want to set an environment variables, we have a module to set, for example, leaf pin for OpenMPI. Our most recent notion is yes, the multi-architecture. It's still experimental because we don't have a real different architecture, but it's for the KNL architecture, where we thought we have to compile some products only for KNL, which are not running on x86. So we put with ebuild, we can compile for KNL only, and we put it in another directory. And with our module, we can, with a module like module x86 or Mike, we can use the correct products for the correct architecture. And last notion is multi-tool chain. On our cluster, we have Cobalt and Iren, which share the same system, but Cobalt come in 2015. And as in this, when we opened Cobalt, we use Intel 15 and OpenMPI 188. And now Iren is our latest cluster come with the same system, but we want to use the last Intel compiler, so 17. And but our users who are using Cobalt still want to use Intel 15 toolchain and with the MPI. So we decide to compile all our products with these two toolchain, Intel 15 and Intel 17, plus the combination of different MPI library. We are using OpenMPI 188, OpenMPI 2.0, and Wi-Fi MPI. So now, when a user wants to ask us to install MPI, we install 6 versions of products, which is a combination of all these toolchains. And thanks to EasyBuild, we only have to give the easy config and easy blocks with the correct toolchain, and it will compile our 6 versions of products with this multi-toolchain. Yes, and this kind upon the naming scheme of our installation directory. So architecture, products name version, compiler version, and flavor. And that with modules, the products that Xavier developed, we can address with module in simple way the correct product. Typically, you talk about the prereq. Now the user has, when he module load products, it will load the correct toolchain by default. But if he wants to use another toolchain, he have to load the compilers and the MPI library, and when he loads the product, it will look for the correct products with the correct toolchain. Yes. I put here some feature we needed. It's not my wish list, it's my colleague. But I saw then, for example, Airpass, who will discuss it tomorrow. So I'm waiting for tomorrow. Yes, we have some problem about the strict dependency tree of EasyBuild. So with module we can bypass this, but in EasyBuild it's really complicated for us. And the problem for us is when we have to remove a product. For now we remove only the module, but the product must be stay for EasyBuild. We cannot remove the product from EasyBuild, the products, because we need to track its dependency and what product needs the products as dependency to recompile all. So, but I saw yesterday it has a remove option. Maybe it's
Not there yet. It's a plan.
it's a plan. Okay. Yes. Okay. And the fourth feature is like we want to be able to EasyBuild generate a script which lets users reproduce the compilation at home without installing EasyBuild. It's like it's because someone show us Spack, who Spack I think Spack do these tricks is you can, if you have a code, I don't talk about product, but a code with all its dependency, we just want to take it and install at home without EasyBuild. And
Spack has that.
I think you can, it's a shell script with a Spack, you can install, no? Okay.
No.
Because it's a need of our user. I have in my conclusion something like that. Our user want to recompile our products in their own computer, and EasyBuild is not easy for them to take and to install all. That's
Maybe you more want to look at containers, because that's exactly what containers do. You want to build a container in one place, like Singularity or Docker.
yes.
This file to people and say, here it is.
Yeah. Maybe okay. Okay, so my conclusion is EasyBuild help us, our team, to be organized and to have a standardization of process, strict and reproductive way for installation. For the documentation too, otherwise for the problem of EasyBlocks, when you talk before, but for us it's very it's good documentation with a log where we can see what EasyBuild did for the installation. And for our system of multi-toolchain and architecture, it's we have a gain of time for the process of installation. So now for FeatureWorks with EasyBuild, we want to try the jobs option to dispatch the installation on our computing node. And that's, that gets the information about installation for users. That it's what is a bash command it was executed by EasyBuild. It's for our user, they need this information. And Toolas is the same ID that Jenkins. We have the ID, but you deploy it, and we just have the ID. And after we have to use virtualization to build products, inside products in other systems for other clusters we have. They are not in the same system that Cobalt and Irene. And when we are confident, we will try to contribute for EasyBuild and EasyBlock for EasyBuild repository. Yes, that's all. Thank you for listening.
Any questions for Laurent? Okay, if not, we have 2 more side presentations, and we're again a little bit behind schedule, so